நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு திரை முதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
I can very well say the most respected and illustrious personality, Shri M.K. Narayanan, delivered everything what is to be delivered. Honorable Shri M.K. Narayanan, the former Governor of West Bengal, my esteemed brothers, Justice Mohammad Shafiq and Justice Satyanarayana Prasad, Justices of Madras High Court, Mr. Jawahar IAS, Mr. Vijay Thomas, and Mr. Emil Jose, the CEOs of this extraordinary moment, the most respected law enforcement officials, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with a profound honor and a solemn sense of duty that I address this gathering at the Secure Our City Conclave. Today we converge not merely as individuals, but as custodians of a collective responsibility to safeguard our city, to fortify the rule of law, and to uphold the promise of justice. Security is not an abstract concept. It is the very foundation upon which the edifice of justice stands. It ensures the weak do not succumb to the tyranny of the strong. The truth is not silenced by the clamor of falsehood, and that the rights enshrined in our Constitution are not reduced to mere words but are lived realities for every citizen. History has shown us that civilization itself is measured by its adherence to law and order. Yet the law is powerless in the absence of enforcement, and enforcement is incomplete without vigilance. Surveillance, when wielded responsibility, becomes not just a tool of deference but a beacon of justice. The initiative we inaugurate today, empowering Chennai with an extensive network of surveillance system, is not merely an advancement in technology. It is a profound statement that the safety of our people is non-negotiable. It is a declaration that in the city no injustice will go unseen, no wrongdoing will escape scrutiny, and no victim will go unheard. Surveillance is the silent witness that speaks the loudest in the pursuit of truth. It transforms conjecture into certainty and speculation into evidence. In countless courtrooms across the nation, it has turned the tide of justice, proving guilt beyond doubt, exonerating the innocent, and restoring faith in the rule of law. Surveillance, therefore, must never be allowed to morph into an instrument of oppression. It must function within a robust legal framework, governed by principles of necessity, proportionality, and accountability. Security and freedom are not opposing forces. They are complementary elements of just society. To achieve one at the expense of the other is to betray the very ideals we seek to uphold. Perhaps the most pressing imperative of our time is the protection of women, children, and vulnerable sections of society. A society's true moral strength is reflected in its ability to protect its weakest members. Every incident of violence against a woman, every crime against a child, every assault on the innocent is not just an attack on an individual but an affront to the very conscience of our nation. Therefore, a city where women can walk without fear is one that has fulfilled its fundamental duty. The initiative is a step toward environmental security and the economic and social upliftment of the community. Surveillance is not just about prevention, but is about empowerment. It tells every offender that impunity is a relic of the past, that accountability is inescapable, and that the shadows are no longer safe havens for crime. Surveillance footage has time and again emerged as the final arbiter in cases where words failed and testimonies wavered. It has exposed lies, validated truths, and restored faith in due process. However, the onus of securing a society cannot rest solely on the shoulders of law enforcement alone. Security is not just a government function. It is a shared duty. It is a covenant between the state and its people, between institutions and individuals, between the judiciary and the government. The success of this initiative depends not just on technology, but a collective commitment. Public-private partnerships, citizen participation, and an unwavering commitment to ethical governance or the correctness of sustainable security. To the visionaries behind this initiative, to the law enforcement officers who uphold their duty with honor, to the judiciary and safeguards the principles of justice, and to every citizen who believes in a safer, stronger, and more just India, let this be our collective pledge. That the vigilance we establish today will be the legacy we leave for tomorrow. For security is not merely the absence of danger, it is the presence of justice. And justice, one illuminated, must never be allowed to fade. I extend my deepest congratulations to all those who have worked tirelessly to bring this initiative to life. May this endeavor stand as a beacon of safety, dignity, and justice for generations to come. தமிழிலே ஒன்று சொல்வார்கள், ஒரு சமுதாயத்தின் ஆகச்சிறந்த வளர்ச்சி அந்த சமுதாயத்தின் அடிப்படை பாதுகாப்பு என்று. அந்த விதத்திலே நடைபெறக்கூடிய இந்த முயற்சி எல்லா விதங்களிலுமே சிறந்து ஓங்க வேண்டும். உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் நன்றி. வணக்கம்.
Sir, to this diet for the keynote address.
Honorable Justice Mahadevan, Judge of the Supreme Court of India, Honorable Justices of the Madras High Court, Justice Suryanarayan Prasad, and Justice Mohammed Shafiq, team leaders of Secure Our City program, Mr. Rejoy Thomas and Mr. Emil Jose, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. As I was mentioning to the Honorable Judge of the Supreme Court, I never thought that in my 91st year, that's how old I am, I would have the privilege to facilitate and be part of the proceedings involving such a distinguished Supreme Court judge. It is a privilege. To add to that, that two other very distinguished High Court judges are also present, is indeed, for me, one of the high points in my life and career. I thank all of you for being present here. And by now you'll understand why I am part of this proceeding. Because you have two very, I would say one missionary, Mr. Rejoy Thomas, who I think has found his mate here from becoming a missionary to being a leader in providing protection to the people. That he should speak with such emotion before three justices of the Supreme Court, a distinguished civil servant, and a whole lot of concerned individuals speaks volumes for what this whole program is about. Secure our city, secure our people, secure women and children in particular, but all individuals. I cannot emulate Rejoy in the way he spoke from his heart, with emotion, with commitment. And after all, I'm an ordinary policeman. But I do understand how important it is to protect our people. I've spent a lifetime in security. I've had a lot of problems with both Mr. Rejoy Thomas and Emil, trying to convince them that what they are trying to do will not succeed. I must admit that I have failed and they have been successful. They have made me understand that it is not mere sophistication. It is not mere knowledge that is important. They made me understand that you need to feel deeply about what security is all about. Security is, as Rejoy said a few minutes ago, a feeling of comfort, a feeling that when when the man is out of the house, the women and children are safe. The feeling that society will support you if you give them some protection in this regard. So, I think today's program, and I'm so happy to see a fair number of people to the audience, please spread the word around that security is not merely for the administration. I'm not meaning any disrespect to Mr. Jawahar. Both of us, in our own way, have tried to provide security. But it comes from the people. It comes from people who have a heart. It comes from the administration that we have, I mean the judges of the country who help dispense justice. That is what security is all about. I'm safe. I've come into this hall. There is all kinds of protection. But most important, there's a feeling that everybody is involved in providing security. And that is what Secure Our City is all about. All of us are involved in the business of providing security for the people at large, which includes yourself, your families, other families, etc. Let me, having spent a lifetime in security, say a few words which I think would look at least good if it comes in a newspaper, but I think has far less meaning when people are involved. That many advances have been made in protecting the average citizens from the criminals of today, who have become extremely advanced in the way they proceed with criminality. Criminals have become more sophisticated and dangerous. Many steps have been taken by the authorities, and the police in particular, to enhance protection. But after having tried to dissuade Rejoy and Emil that you can't provide better protection than what the administration can do, I've now come to realize that true security comes when ordinary, everyday citizens take upon themselves the responsibility for supplementing what the authorities are doing with a view to protect the ordinary citizen. then and only then can we hope to achieve true and real security for the people. I think at this point, I do believe that we're required to compliment Mr. Joy Thomas and Emil Jose on what they have set out to achieve. I think while they have not publicized it too much, the motto that these two gentlemen have brought about are citizenry for people's protection. When I first came into contact with these two individuals, I was skeptical as to whether they would be able to do anything in the area of providing protection, or at least additional protection. But I must admit that I've had to revise my opinion. Not only do they have a degree of expertise in the area of providing protection to ordinary citizens, but given their previous efforts in Abu Dhabi, they have convinced me that they possess something more that we seldom find, a burning desire accompanied by a vision to ensure true and real security through a process of getting the citizenry themselves involved in this effort. Their aim is to supplement and complement the efforts being made by the police and other authorities. And they are trying to do this by using the cameras. They call them security cameras. And having seen how it works, I am now inclined to agree with them that there is more to security than ordinary flat-footed policemen like myself. You need the people to understand what security is about. You need to understand what items you have which are important for this purpose. But most of all, you need to believe that security is something that we all have to be a part of. I do not think that I have to use this audience or this occasion to say that day by day, criminality is increasing. We have many more gadgets, we have many more institutions which are helping to protect us, but criminality is galloping at a rate. And we have to thank the honorable justices of the Supreme Court and the High Court to be able to dispense justice, which is helping to keep down some of this activity. What I can tell you from my years of experience in this, that the most unfortunate elements in this whole thing are really women and children. They are the worst affected by criminality. We hear in the newspapers about ordinary people. But I've seen that the most affected by violence is or are women and children. And I think this is where Secure Cam and the security cameras are going to play their role. Greatest safety in the home is, I think, the most important lesson that we have to take home from today's meeting and in the effort that is being made. You cannot have security if there's no security in your home. You cannot have security if you're unsure that when the man goes out to work, the women and children are not safe. You cannot have security if half the time you're thinking about what will happen if I'm not there. I think the Secure Cam and security cameras provide you a hope that they are safer today than they were previously. And I'm aware that this void has existed for a long time. We have in public places security cameras, etc. But seldom do we see cameras positioned in homes, and that is what Secure Cam is trying to do. Technology is a very important part of this effort. Where Secure Cam seeks to make a difference is that their effort is not confined to mechanically using cameras as an instrument of additional protection, but also in instilling them with a trained eye. I mean, positioning a camera is very important. Positioning what you do with a camera is very, very important. And I find that, having worked with them for quite a few months, or maybe 2 years and more, that What Secure Cam or the personnel of Secure Cam are doing is not merely using the camera with a trained eye, but essentially by personally getting involved, letting people know that the security camera is a part of your everyday life and system. You can never understand unless somebody really explains to you what the presence of an eye in the house means to an ordinary home, particularly now that women, perhaps even more than men, are in the workplace. How do you keep your mind open? Of course, the mobile phone is there are mobile phones, but there's nothing like a permanent record of what is taking place. The children are at home, more often old people like me are at home. How do you ensure that when you go away for 10, 12 hours, what is happening in the home? You want to record. I can assure you that I've been in government for 70 years in some way or the other. There's nothing more important than having somebody keep an eye on you. You can't do it now. In the old days, there were people around. Now there are no people. That the security camera is doing what used to happen in an age and time when there were not more people and criminals were less sophisticated. I don't want to go on and on because I particularly would like to hear our Honorable Judge of the Supreme Court and the two judges of the Madras High Court as to what they have to think of. What do they think on this? Most of the time they have to go by evidence. Where is the evidence coming from? The one item is the camera never lies. Everybody else lies. I have lied all my life, so I can say that with. So what I'm saying is, please treat the security camera and Secure Cam as a part and parcel of your everyday life and existence. You need that kind of protection. You are precious. Every single individual is precious. And we must understand what a security camera does. It's a record. It's important. It's vital. If the police would like to have it when it comes to evidence. The judges would like to have it as, again, evidence in various places. But more than anything else, and that is the biggest strong point of Secure Cam, they believe and they feel that security is an essential part of our lives and that their cameras will help with this purpose. I thank them for this effort. I think it's a great effort. I'm hopeful that we will be successful, and I'm sure that all of you will support this effort. Thank you very much.
Your face will be covered with the cameras. Even if you want to renew the tea shop license, you have to produce the paper, your tea shop is under surveillance. What I'm trying to say, they giving such a priority for the cameras to make sure everyone is secured. If they give the priority for a tea shop, you can imagine how it will be. They give the priorities for the public places and the shopping malls, hospitals, schools, how much they will give the priority. Okay. So from there, I thought I was working with the banking sector. In my personal life, I survived 2 times through cameras. I produced the documents, I produced the evidence. I was not participated in the particular activity. From that point, I thought when I start a business, it should be something related to the security. And since 2014, we started a company called Secure Cam. And what we plan to make a normal business, like traditional business, integration and all. But certain time point, I thought that should not be our life. We should take this message to the importance of the message to the worldwide. From there, we decided to provide 10,000 free cameras in selected city across the globe. When I take this presentation to the Dubai government, they ask one question, Rijoy, you know how much we are secured in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. What about your country? You know one thing, once we leave the country, there is no Rijoy, there is no Thomas, you are an Indian. When they ask the point that time, think about your country, what's the crime rate is going on. First, you go to your country and make sure you are doing your responsibility over there. Then you go to any other country or any other some cities. That point I thought, I decided, as an Indian, this is my responsibility. When we studied in our school, we used to, in the morning session, before the classes, there is a pledge. We starting our day, all Indians are my brothers and sisters. When I think about that line, all Indians are my brothers and sisters, how beautiful it is. But all of us, we don't have the time to look at each other to say or to look at the face what we are facing today. From there, we decided the campaign should go to India. From there, we'll start. And in that point, in India, we selected 5 cities: Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, Chennai, and Kochi. And last 3 years, we are in Chennai. We travel across India to know which are the city, which are the areas we have to start with the campaign. Then that point, I decided what I'm trying to say. In my childhood, actually, என்னோட வீடு வந்து கட்டி கொடுத்துருக்கிறது வந்து ஒரு தமிழன் தான். Okay, actually, when I was in 7th standard, அந்த டைம் வரைக்கும் ஒரு வீட்டிலுமே அங்கே வந்து டெய்லி வேஜில் தான் வீடு கட்டி கொடுத்துட்டே இருந்தது. But at that time, the first time, as Selvarajan Anne, that time I was in 7th standard, I truly believe that year because 7th standard I failed. So I was very much busy with the housework with that Anne. Then you know what I'm saying? So where I got a very safe house, beautiful house with the help of a Tamil brother. From there, I started my career. I went to Mumbai. I got the first job in Maharashtra with the support of a Maharashtrian. From there, somebody from the Delhi, they take me to Dubai. From Dubai, some Arabs give me a job. What I'm saying, what I am here today is nothing. I mean, nothing is my talent. There are many people in our life who influence, who help, who support to reach this campaign, or today we are here today. So, what I'm trying to, just I will make one small story. Okay, there is one small village. And the village le மழை இல்லாம எல்லாரும் ப்ரேயர் பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கேன். Okay, there is no rain at all. டெய்லி கோவிலுக்கு போய் ப்ரேயர் பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பேன், ஆனால் மழை வரல. ஆனால் ஒரு நாள் வந்து பூஜாரி சொல்கிறது, நாளைக்கு வந்து ஸ்பெஷல் ப்ரேயர் இருக்கும், எல்லாரும் வந்து ஒரு 10 to 4 o'clock நீங்கள் எல்லாருமே வந்து கோவில் வந்து ப்ரேயர் பண்ணணும், அந்த ஸ்பெஷல் பூஜாவில் வந்து கண்டிப்பாக மழை இருக்கும். அப்போது அந்த சேம் டேல நெக்ஸ்ட் டேல அந்த ஊருக்கார் எல்லாருமே அந்த கோவிலில் வந்திருக்கும். ஆனால் ப்ரேயர் போயிட்டே இருக்குது, பூஜா போயிட்டே இருக்குது. 3 o'clock வரைக்கும் மழை வரலை. எல்லாரும் நினச்சி இந்த பூஜையால் வந்து மழை ஒன்றும் வர போகிறதில்லை. ஆனால் அரௌண்ட் 4 o'clock it start heavy raining and it's with the thundering. You can't imagine how it was rainful. The whole village was fully with the water. But the same day, everyone came for the prayer. Only one little girl who brought the umbrella. Only that little girl only had the confidence. நான் ப்ரேயர் பண்ணும்போது அன்னைக்கு வந்து மழை வந்துடும். மற்ற எல்லாருமே ப்ரேயர் பண்ண வந்திருக்கு, ஆனால் அவருக்கு நம்பிக்கை இல்லை, அவருக்கு கொடை கொண்டு வரல. ஆனால் அன்றைக்கு வந்து கடவுள் அங்கே மொத்தமாக மழை பெய்திருக்கேன். அந்த மாதிரி செக்யூர் அவர் சிட்டி கேம்பெயின் நான் ஒரு செக்யூரிட்டி அம்பர்லா பிடிச்சிருக்கேன். I am praising to the Lord. I am praising to the God, help me to take this campaign to the next level. But by the grace of the God, what I am saying, the miracles happen today. Our Lord Justice, Mahadevan Sir, Supreme Court Justice, is here today with all the blessings. With all, you know what I'm saying? அந்த கடவுள் அன்னைக்கு மழை இங்கே கொடுத்துருக்கேன். ஆனால் இன்றைக்கு செக்யூர் அவர் சிட்டி அம்பர்லாக்குள்ள இந்த செக்யூர் அவர் சிட்டி கேம்பெயின் டு ஸ்ப்ரெட் அக்ராஸ் இந்தியா, அவர் ஹானரபிள் Supreme Court Justice Mr. Mahadevan sir is here. I don't know, sir, how to be, I can't believe this moment. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to express my gratitude, how should be thankful my whole life to take this today. And again, once I'm taking much time. It's not because I'm not that much talented to explain the things very fast. I want to add one more line to all the Chief Justice. I mean, it's not the way to say all the Chief Justice. I know how important all of you are. Because of my lack of knowledge, I am extremely sorry to explain. about Justice Satyanarayanan sir, Madras High Court, Justice Muhammad Shafiq sir, again it's from the Madras High Court, and Tangasi S. Jawhar, IAS, and M.K. Narayanan sir, IPS, former National Security Advisor of India. What I'm traveling with Narayan sir last 3 years. എല്ലാവർക്കും 10 time എന്താണെന്ന് தெரியும். That's the time we used to tell Abraham Lincoln died, the clock got still. Again, Narayan sir used to give me the time 3:30 time. Usually sir will give the appointment of 3:30 time. 3 years we are traveling together. I am running behind sir to get the advice, to make sure secure our city. It should reach to all the hands, it should reach to all the houses. The end of that is the small thing, the basic agenda of this campaign, എല്ലാ വീട്ടിലുമേ പാതുകാപ്പ് വരണം, എല്ലാ വീട്ടിലുമേ ബൾബ് മാറി, എല്ലാ വീട്ടിലുമേ ക്യാമറ വരണം. ഇത് not for 10,000 houses. നമ്മ 148 കോടി മക്കൾക്കും പാതുകാപ്പ് കിടക്കണം. No need to identify Chennai or Madras or Bombay or whatever. All Indians, we are together, we have to make sure we are reaching this goal, and I'm sure with the presence, with the support, with the blessings happen today, I'm sure we are going to make it happen. Once again, thank you for all the special guests and the makkal who arrived today to make the launch happening. What I'm trying to say, all they are eagerly waiting for which are the areas we selected that we are going to present now. Once again, thank you all for the wonderful support. Thank you, sir.
Our friends from Cemetery are here. Kindly proceed to the dais.